Well, never mind. I was going to have the swords go, but I decided to accidentally unclick that for a second because I am Brad Chester, technological wizard, oldest man in 40K, and I'm here with my crew that I assembled. Never mind. I was going to have...
Brad, your technological wizardry has been rubbing off on me. It's a bad look.
I mean, I heard that you stream 2 Eloise, basically, and just said...
We recorded a 3.5 hour long battle report and didn't record the sound. It was fantastic.
That's freaking genius. I like everything about it. I do like a lot that Eloise consistently types in chat as opposed to just talking to you when she's in the same house.
She goes to work. You make it
wasn't
seem like
that day. It was not that day.
You have seen her over your shoulder before, where she is literally typing while she's standing.
You know what? I'm going to drop the DOG opening on you guys. It's better late than never, guys.
Okay.
Oh, boom. There we are again.
I feel reborn.
I am confused.
I'm so much better at talking now that we've had that intro.
I mean, clearly. So today we're going to talk about the fact that breathing is not overrated. And I would like to do it much easier than I can right now. And I'd also
Do we need to tell you to go to the hospital, or are you just going to ignore that advice?
I'm going to completely ignore it. Either that or I'll
Okay.
drive myself when I'm dying like I usually do. And have them yell at me every single time. You cannot do this. Wait, guys. Can't seem strong. Because I did. But I wasn't early. I was straight 7 KR. That is also true. Please like and subscribe. I did forget yesterday after we specifically talked about it, and then I never said it ever again because I am the world's worst streamer. But let's talk about stuff, guys. We got predictions for the weekend. We got several events going on. I want to talk a little bit about building a community and building your own community. When I say about that is building your own small community inside the community, being a part of that. That's how you get a team together, is basically, even if you're the single guy that randomly, occasionally talks in random chats and stuff like that, put yourself out there. You know what I mean? Be a person that's available to play on something, because then you can start the ball rolling. You meet new people. Playing at team events, again, as I've always said a lot, is fantastic. It's my favorite part of 40K. But you have to be willing to kind of throw yourself out there and be available to play and meet some people that are strangers now and could be friends soon. You know what I mean? It's a big deal. Get yourself out there.
I think that's really true.
So what's going on this weekend? Let's talk about the stuff going on this weekend first.
Well, we've got Rumble by the River. Rivers? I don't know. 2 Towers. Watch the second movie of Lord of the Rings. That's what I'm going to. Then you've got the Battle Brothers at the Resort Mojo going on. And, excuse me. And we've got several international big events also going on. So we've got a bunch of stuff that we could... I want to predict factions for one. Because, man, at Cali we had wild factions all over the place. I mean, you had a lot of the usual suspects, but we had a lot of diversity, and we had a really diverse meta over the last weekend. When you look at the meta report for this week, and I, of course, use the one that I jump over to, Meta Monday, every time when I'm talking about stats, but we had a lot of different armies performing very well. And it's a very versatile meta that you have to really be planning for.
I think that's true. I think who's in the house?
Anna's in the house. Rumble.
Nice. I think there's a lot to be said for being, open to playing your faction even when it's not the absolute bee's knees at any given time. And right now, I would say it's pretty much Chaos and Eldar fighting each other to the death at the top. And if you're anybody else, I think you have a really good shot to just play and win if you know your faction better than anyone else.
I believe that 1,000%. Rock it out. Sorry, brother.
No, you're good. The faction balance is so close right now that it's almost like end of 9th was, where there are outliers that are standouts, but they're not such standouts to the point where it's like this person will win, right? I think the UK is in a little bit worse of a situation because a lot of their events are very highly populated with high-performing factions.
But also
Big-
very open, longer lanes too. So certain things just aren't viable. I do have to give credit to Lyle Dixon for a $2 super chat. Thanks for the stream, gentlemen. Not Crawley. And I'm gonna put the bee's knees over right next to Sean here. Let it hump on him a little bit.
Like a I'm full of wonderful phrases whenever we put me on. You never know what I'm gonna say.
Even Jakari won an event. That's a true story.
That's true. Yeah.
I think AdMech's better than people think. But when you're looking at it, I agree with you on the Euros, but I think it's a terrain issue more than anything, to be honest with you. And I think a lot of that is also the Euros play a lot more team tournament focused. So they get pretty extreme lists and they put people playing, getting ready for things more so even in their single stuff. Uh-oh. 2010. Anna just fucking went all $2.01. Special thanks to Crawley. Price is Right style.
Oh, thank you, Anna. I appreciate it. I think one of the interesting things that you see out of the UK is because there are so many team events, their lists are traditionally more skewy, and because they're obviously their terrain's different, right? But I do think that they almost it's almost like some of their builds set the meta because of how frequently they have larger events, right? They have, like, on any given weekend within a couple of hours, which granted a couple of hours in the UK is not that far, or is infinitely far, I should say. Like, you get to Scotland in a couple hours from London. It's like literally a 30 to 40 man event that you can just shake a stick at, right? Like, they have event saturation palooza going on.
Just in England, though.
Huh?
Just
Yeah.
in England. I'm not
No.
sure the rest of Europe is really
Poland
having
has,
that many events.
Poland has a significant number of RTTs and stuff like that.
They have a
They're
lot of events, but like England has like a 400 person event every other week, it seems like. They're just crazy on that.
News at 11. If you want to farm ITC points, move to England.
Yeah. Zach is crushing. He's got events out of a t-shirt gun. Goosh, goosh, goosh. Yeah, I mean, Meta Monday's rocking on it. Joe with that. Eldar and Black Templar dominating the UK, the EU. Eldari is it's bleh. CSM, Eldari, and Space Marines are rocking the UK, and I would say that's 100% because of UKTC terrain, because the rest of Europe's playing WTC mostly, where you have a base kind of a balance of boards. UKTC right now with their current setup is wildly open, so you have to play the armies that can throw down that 36 and 48 inch consistent firepower are just dominating the meta there.
Yeah, you see a lot. I think almost every single build of Eldar starts with triple Night Spinner in the UK right now,
That's
because the
bonkers.
amount of control that it gives you, and then compare like the 10-man brick of bros that just says, "Hey, I'm standing here with a 2-up save, and I just revive, hold to the middle." I don't know how well that works here comparatively. I know it'll still work.
I mean, it
Well, they
works.
also have Hugin too.
Yeah. It worked. They really did pioneer Fugan. That's a real thing. Europe did provide very recently, but it's also like, how can you play the least fun 40k possible the fastest?
This is not entertaining to play at all.
Yeah. So I mean, but this goes back to what Brad was saying originally. You know, there's a lot of factions that can do really well, and when we punt Night Spinners into the stratosphere, I think all will be as close as we can get for a little while. Maybe a few point touches on Chaos. Like, I don't think Chosen should be 115 or whatever they are. Probably bump those boys up and cut some Nurglings out of the list, and then play a more fair game where you can't just score all your secondaries, or I don't know, move block 18 Squig Hogs in your opponent's deployment zone with some Nurglings, which I definitely didn't do last weekend.
Just make it so the Incarn can't teleport and charge in the same turn, and I will be the happiest person ever. You can keep your Night Spinners, you can keep your other BS. I can plan around everything about that except for, oops, you randomly overkilled one thing, and now I'm dealing with a T10 2-up save have damage 4 of Invold model in my deployment zone that I really didn't want there to be there because I rolled poorly.
That is pretty annoying.
But not to harp on guys at the top too much, but switching over to the bottom section, I played against Drukhari, and they actually had some funny interactions and damage into my chaos list. Anti-infantry guns,
Oh, Sean.
very, very funny.
You're not allowed to talk about this.
Sean's like, I only beat the seal like 3/4 of the way dead by turns. It was great.
Hey, you know what? There were a lot of Drukhari units that needed squashing, and it did take me a hot minute to get rid of all of them. But no, seriously, I want to be real for a second. Like, Drukhari has problems. I've said that over and over again.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just over and over again. Maybe with you in the same room, you know. But there is definitely something there once we get some kind of like Death Guard type treatment, where you just like you bring something like of a game plan that's not just like Dark Lances galore. I believe it was Skari that went 5-0, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he has a wide mixture of units. Of course, he has the Dark Lances, but having played against some of them, it really feels it's scary for a minute until you realize they hit on like forest. But it is very scary when you're just like, oh, they're gonna reroll all hits. Oh, okay, forest. Oh, that one hit. Okay, the other one did nothing. Okay, we're safe. But there's that like fear moment where like all their chip shots start doing just a little bit of damage. Some Dark Lances are still D6 plus a bazillion damage, and
I've done it with some bros, and it's actually terrifying.
Yeah, 100%. It was so annoying because you're like, okay, I'm gonna kill these units, and then guys hop out, and you're like, I don't want to shoot those guys.
But in
There's
the
like-
end, to be fair, let's be honest here. The Drukhari stuff is the stuff you added to your Eldar list. Come on now. Addo, $5 super chat. What was the final score of this Drukhari game, Mr. Sean? Dice with Rice.
He doesn't say that. There was 100.
There were a lot of zeros in the title of that one.
Yeah. So you won 100 to something. What was the something? How much did this terrifying
up.
army, this scourge of the seas?
Hey, all right, everybody. All right. I judge it on how it could be, not how it went. All right.
Hey,
Let's be
listen,
real
listen,
here.
listen. Are you gonna start telling us Admech is the best faction in the game as long as they all roll 6s?
Not yet, but when it becomes a bit. Okay. You know was it everybody? Who said everybody's got a plan to get hit in the mouth? Mike Tyson?
Mike Tyson.
Tyson. Okay, everybody's got a plan until all these breachers roll up, and you're like, I did not expect this kind of damage from AdMech. That being said, I do not own AdMech anymore, so no, Crawley, you can sleep safe. I will not be coming and ruining you with AdMechs anytime soon.
Every time you have played Wheel of Admech, it's been miserable how hard you wrecked me with that army.
I love everything about this. I just love the fact that you were just like, man, this army could possibly crush me. Or
So what was the score? Was it like 100 to 20? Like what?
I don't know. I didn't count. I don't count. I try to score my points, and I don't worry about the opponent. Especially, I try to get to 100 as fast as possible and remove as many of their models as fast as possible. And usually that's a good tactic.
I'm just giving you the RKO out of nowhere here. That's what happened in that game.
Does anyone have what tournament was this? Was this in Chattanooga?
Yeah, it's like some RTT. I don't know.
Okay. All right. We need someone to look at Cleveland, Tennessee.
Well, he has the BCP receipt. He knows exactly
I
what scored. He just doesn't
Oh,
want
you're right. I actually do. I didn't think about it, but yeah, here. Let's now that we're putting somebody on blast before everyone goes and looks.
no. Just tell us the
I'm
score.
definitely putting you
I
on
know you know what
blast.
the score is. You're just hiding it.
No, I really don't.
I think
did-
he would
It
have
was
or if it was a specific.
no. It was only. Oh yeah, this is a good time. This is a good example actually. So the score was 90 to 38, and the reason was we played random missions on random terrain, and it was a great time. I had a blast playing that RTT. It literally was random missions. They just rolled for the missions every time.
I
had no. We could have played anything.
I like this. I didn't play on random missions, and I played on a random mission. So
Man, Dark Eldar are so OP. They got 38 points. Were they painted?
He was playing the most meta army in the game.
Excuse you, sir. We don't require paint at those RTTs.
Boom. In your face, Brandon. Long indeed.
But no, I think Drukhari are actually in a very unique spot that they'll be much better off as the meta continues to adapt, and if they get for instance, the Death Guard treatment, because their rules are actually really cool.
Yeah, well, the thing is Corey made a good point. If they could literally be more killing in combat, it actually would feel like a good army. Because they've got some shooting. They do have decent shooting, and they have some options, like having your squads slammed in, split up in Venoms and stuff like that. Having some guys, or all the guys running around with Dark Lances and Blasters, gives you some mojo, but you need somebody that hits harder than a wet towel in combat. So that would be a big deal. The problem is that they can still be just taken in Eldar. So like they never can be that good because they're like, oh, the Eldar will just supplement with Dark Eldar. So you have to watch out. They're basically paying for the sins of Eldar.
I think one of the biggest things that why we see a drop off in their play rate too, by the way, is because of the fact that they deviate so hard from how they've played consistently for as long as I can remember, right? Like, don't touch DE and melee unless you have a good plan was always a thing until now.
Yeah. They've always been able to slap, and now unfortunately, that's not just a term, that's actually what they do.
Yeah, there may have been a quote from our game of I was like charging Chosen in or something to like Lilith and a bunch of things. And he's like, they fight first. I was like, I know.
You're like, yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, this will be all right. You're like, it's just
So what got hit harder? Dark Eldar in combat or Sisters of Battle in combat?
Dark Eldar.
Both equally.
Yeah, they both used to punch so hard.
You're making enemies on the internet right now. Don't make them relive those days. We're gonna get Bloody Rose, and that army's gonna be insane.
There's zero chance it's coming back.
No, it's coming back. I believe it.
Yes,
if you believe hard enough,
Man.
you roll miracle dice on a 6.
See, this is how we get Sean into playing orcs. You just got to believe stronger.
He just sold his orcs.
Shh, we don't tell people that. I did not want to paint those guys. That's forever.
Matt does make a good point. Witches lose to guardsmen. True story.
I don't know. I think Seraphim and Zephyr lose to Gauts or Grots. So
Listen, you have good tanks.
Oh,
Yeah.
Peaches the Destroyer coming in, $5 super chat. Sending Brad a list via the Discord mine. Going over it and giving me some ideas, thoughts, and concerns. Got to learn from the best after all. Now I just have to find Discord.
Yes, despite this being about how you can use Discord to enhance your experience in Warhammer 40k, Brad, the technical wizard, is going to find Discord.
Oh, here's the thing. Brad has like 10,000 Discords because everybody brings Brad into their Discord.
This is a true story. I know how to find Discord. It's weird.
You just gotta leave some of those. Just block them.
That seems
Leave them.
mean. Who does that shit? We're gonna talk about this list. You ready, guys?
All right, let's
Screw
do
it.
it.
I want to do it.
So
It's
is
a-
this
forget-
a
forget- forget everything
$5
else.
coaching session?
yeah. Well, I also like Space Wolf, so I want to talk about it. Gladius Space Wolf, Ragnar's Unga Bunga Boys.
Oh, yeah, this is going to be good.
This is why I wanted to read it, because that's how it starts. Ragnar, Lieutenant, Sword and Board, 2 Wolfguard battle leaders on Thunderhammers. On Thunder. They're literally standing on Thunderhammers.
They ride Thunderhammers
Yeah.
like witches' brooms, flying
just-
across the table. I love it already.
6-man Blade Guard, 5-man Infernus Squad, 5-man Infiltrators, 5-man Scout, 5-man Wolf Guard Heirloom Weapon Shield Dudes, 2x3 Thunder Cav Shields, Drop Pod, Predator Annihilator, 2 Predator Destructors, Land Raider, Whirlwind, Whiff and Dread, Axe and Shield. So, I mean, Ragnar has to have a place to go, but Blade Guard.
Not it. Blade Guard are not it.
It's the
Brad
same
and I-
thing. Same thing with the Wolf Guard. I'm assuming it's a Wolf End with the heirloom weapons. It just you need something that hits harder than again a wet T-shirt. It's a big deal in that. I do like the Whip and Dreadnought quite a bit just because it's got invuln. You can just roll up. If you're going to take whirlwinds, always take a pair of whirlwinds. in my opinion. You could just make this Stormlands, to be honest with you, and it'd probably
Yeah,
be
I was
better.
about to say, why is there a reason we're Gladius? Because we're not taking the broken Gladius combo of Apothecary, Biologist, Fire Discipline, and some Aggressors, which
Right.
both give you insane shooting and that melee punch that
Can-
Legard don't give
Could
you.
Ragnar just join Aggressors? Because I would love that, as opposed to...
I
I don't think so.
don't think so. Yeah,
He doesn't have Gravis armor, so I don't believe he can.
I don't. Yeah, I don't think so. I'm not. I'm not going to pretend to be a faithful.
I love Carl goes, can we get a public apology for the hobby state of Brad's army at Cali Cup? The best part about Cali Cup is the only nice models you saw were models that I brought two squads. And one was the unit of infiltrators and one was the unit of plasma inceptors. And those look super sweet. Snakes painted those. I painted after several bottles of wine the Dreadnought with partial finger and whatnot, but that was borrowed. I like people from XBZ, the boys just showed up with models for me, and I'm assuming I never got anybody's best models because they were like, don't really want Brad touching my best models. So that was 6 different people that gave me models for that. So I
Okay.
feel that was a community effort and should be applauded. Even
Yeah,
though
we're encouraging small children that painting 40K is okay because this is what a grown man painted, and then everybody knows it's fine.
I loved also that Kenny
Can
kept
we make that Dreadnought your background, Brad?
Oh, I could.
Please,
Dude, well,
please
Kenny
do
kept
that.
putting it
Please.
every time they did after game player interviews. He kept making it so that was in the background every time. So it'd just be my Dreadnought just sitting there. It was fantastic. He cannot go with aggressors. That makes me sad. I want a 6-man unit of Thunderwolf. Slam those characters inside. Also, I want some Canis and or Herald in my life. So
Logan, are we going to Stormlands and playing Oops All Wolves? Because that army is amazing.
It
And
kind
I
of
want
is, to be
Logan
honest
on.
with
I
you.
want
But this
Logan on a
sounds like a-
sled.
This is a completely different army. Though.
No,
I was
but-
about to say this was supposed to be a list review, and you all just went, okay, so
Yes.
just play the Meta Space Wolves list.
No,
And
it's-
you're-
it's not even meta.
That's
It's
not
not
meta.
even remotely
That's not
meta.
meta at all.
But the things that I'm not super excited about, the Inferno Squad kind of blows.
Yeah.
The Wolfguard Squad kind of blows. I would take 2 Whirlwinds. I would take 2 Scouts, to be honest with you. They're just so unbelievably good value. And I would get myself a 6. I would just run this as Stormlands, to be honest with you, probably. Because you can just slam this in. Bringing 6 Thunderwolves in on turn 1 is a real deal.
That's Hunter's Instinct is the enhancement that lets you do that.
Yeah, plus the strats, -1 to hit, -1 to wound is bonkers down. But you could bring the rest of it. I would.
I mean, if you drop the Infernus Marines and drop pod, like you pay for what 3 Thunderwolf Cavalry and some enhancements.
Yeah, I mean, you could go 6 and 3. He's already got 2 times 3. You know what I mean? On Thunderwolves,
Yeah.
I would go 1 6 1 3. Go.
I mean, you
Yeah.
could actually probably take 6 Thunderwolves for the price of that.
Peaches is here, right? Did he give
Yeah.
us any kind of where's the direction we're going here, Peaches? Like, what do you
He
like?
just
What
wants
do you
to
look for?
bang. He wants to, throw down. He wants
Just
to
wants
drop
to throw
some,
down?
He just wants to throw some bows, bro.
Oh yeah. No, you want Max Wolves. That's so fun.
But he also wants Ragnar with bros. And the problem is
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, it drives me so crazy that my leaders can only join the most random of shit. Like, stop it. Like, why not?
Space Marines, I feel like, are held back so much by their attachment options being so just whack. Like, there's so many combinations that, like, almost every model / unit should be able to attach to a captain or a lieutenant. Like, why can they not?
I'll give this to Meta Monday. Is a 6-man of Thunderwolf too big to get all of them in combat? Yes and no, but you're also going to lose a dude on the way there. So I'm okay with the big boys coming in. It also is like the unit for move blocking. If you can touch somebody, that's why I like it as a Stormlance, just because if you bring it in on 1 rapid ingress and you can get somebody and just put baby in the corner, that's a hell of a thing to try to get around. They just take up so much space. So you can just touch so many things.
Yeah,
So-
that's a good example of how you can lose all your models and still have a score good enough to win the game because
Yeah.
they're stuck dealing with wolves for 3 turns.
Yeah.
Are Frenzy and Wolves worthwhile? Just
Yeah.
for like doing actions?
I was thinking about that too. I didn't want to do like a full. We just wanted to take a peek at it, but I didn't want to completely rewrite. But I would run it as Lance, and I would go 6-3 at least. The Infernus are meh if you're not running him with the bonuses and stuff.
Even in salamanders, they're not that good.
And you got to run him as a 10. If you pop the strap
Yeah.
with 10, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, actually, Brad's exactly right. Vulcan 10-man in a Land Raider popping out and just dropping wounds on people
That's
is way
500
scarier.
some odd points for something that deals maybe 8 mortal wounds.
That's why I'm not playing goddamn Firestorm. I haven't figured it out yet. It's got upside. It's just the problem with Firestorm is when you don't perform exactly as you wanted to, you end up standing in front of your opponent with an awkward stance going, so remember that Trauma tried to kill you? My bad. It would be real bummer if I was sitting right here.
Yeah, if we're talking predictions, I do not predict Firestorm just throttling every tournament this weekend. That is not what I predict.
No, I mean Iron Storm and Stormlance just have so much innate strength, and Gladius has so much flexibility. Like,
Yeah. I mean, I give you that, but it's just if you're going to play, if you want to play some flavorful thing on that, I think the Lance does play better because the strats are really nice for it. And just being able to come on a turn one's a big deal. That can win you the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
Well, just advance and charge all the time will win you games for no good reason.
True. I've actually been trying to make lists with the Firestorm and just try to, because every gun becomes assault. And using not up in your face, I mean, you could do some flamer stuff, but like using the ability that you're just always advancing all over the place and trying to see if I can make a super fast army that just shoots from distance. I have not perfected it yet, but I think it's out there.
Is there a world where Space Wolf Dreadnought spam can be played as Iron Storm?
Yeah.
Because they have
Yeah.
some really cool Dreadnoughts.
Yeah.
yes,
100%.
they have their one has like a 4-up invul, and then you can take 3 of it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
Wolfen-
3 Wolfen
Wolfen Dreads.
Dreadnoughts.
Wolfen Dreads.
Yeah.
And then you have Bajorn.
You also, what's the dude that's like the murder one that like literally every
He
time?
doesn't
Murder
have a
Fang.
Murder Fang, but he doesn't have a goddamn invul.
I don't
For
care
some
if he has an
unknown
invul.
reason, he doesn't have an invul.
Get him into combat, and if he swings first, and then if they touch him back on accident, he touches them again. He can fight infinitely in the fight phase. He is like one of those models that like might not be the best choice, but he hits his lore.
I mean,
like,
I'm not gonna.
Oh yes.
You already had me at Wolfen Dreadnoughts and Murder Fang. You could bring
Style
Bjorn.
wise, 10 out of 10, right?
Yeah.
Space Wolves have everything you could ever want. You play a bunch of Thunderwolf Cav and Logan. You can play a bunch of Dreadnoughts. I still think you want Redemptors just because, man, those things are annoying. Just like annoyingly tough for no good reason.
Still so many points. Can Flamestorm save the Ballistas? I don't know. The Ballistas is dead
No.
to me.
No, this is so bad. Whoever said that, Tom and I spent so long trying to tell Brad, hey, you want to try like
Consistently.
anything else?
Literally,
And-
the one quote I think Tom ended with was, "You'd be better off playing 140 down." No, the better part was when Innis, we were talking about it. I was just like, I hated this thing, and he was talking about when he won Coventry, and he brought 3 of them, and he goes, "If I would have played 500 down, it would have felt better." He's like, they just were disappointing every game.
I think they're better in Iron Storm where they have the innate reroll, but I do think that their volume is too low.
Hey,
unless-
if you keep shooting at stuff that is under half, I literally shot half the tournament just shooting at things with under half just so I could get some rerolls. I would shoot them last.
My favorite part was when you landed everything onto that unit of World Eaters and one lit for an
So-
8-point swing.
So annoying.
That's,
Well, by the way,
that's
that
the dark
happened-
times.
That happened twice.
Brad lives in the dark times, playing that one Ballistus, being sad.
God, if I had anything, if I had a t-shirt launcher and a guy that made snow cones, it would have been better.
I love how I have the subtle approach of like, hey, what if you just tried this instead? This could do this. And then Tom's like, that is the worst decision you could ever make. And like, Brad's just like, I like what Bad Dad's saying better. And like,
Oh, Lyle has a $5 super chat. He's sending Bradley a list on Facebook. It's an old 9th edition
Oh,
list,
screw
and he wants
you.
to update
No.
the 10th edition.
You know what? You know what this is? It's literally goddamn Mike's Sisters of Silence list.
Hey, Hey, I bet you could use 150 points of Sisters of Silence better than a Ballista Dreadnought.
Yeah, actually, yes, I would have. It would have been so much better for move blocking. The good thing about the ballistas is he also hits so hard in combat. Whoa. My God, I forgot how many units he had in this army.
Crawley, should I take Sisters of Silence, the Warhammer World Championship?
Wait, you locked your list in already, right?
I'm sure I can ask Mike Brandt to change it for me.
I mean, if you took a vote of the players, they would say, for sure, we would like some free wins.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm just making sure you knew that list lock today because I got like 5 Facebook messages from GW people for like list lock is in 5 minutes. It's in 40 minutes. Please make sure you put in your list.
Yeah, I'm like, why is it at midnight? It's so weird. Good thing I was looking at my phone and not, doing something else.
Oh, Peaches, you didn't do a bad job on that list. I would just change some stuff. The biggest thing when you're looking at anytime I change a list for anybody or just to offer advice, you want to stay in the same flavor. You know what I mean, of what you're trying to do. And you want to get a direction. And that's the thing is it's in Marine list and shit, my first 47 incarnations. I literally have my list saved by the number of the list, the incarnation of the list. And my current Dark Angels is Dark Angels number 38. So you can change shit all the time, man.
I want you to all hear that and know how many of those have been sent to me,
100%
especially when it's
of them.
orcs. Jeez.
I've only seen 3 of them, so that's pretty cool.
Oh, my sweet summer child.
you wouldn't respond to them. Brandon's excellent constructive criticism is Marines aren't very good. All right, thanks, man. I'll take that to heart and make some changes.
I think Sean is like all of our list bounds guy. Like
Yeah.
everybody sends him lists for
Do
bouncing.
you know how many people say this is? Oh, how it's terrible. I'm telling people this, but if you send me a list, I'll respond to it. Like it's bad. It doesn't cost anything. I'll just tell you what I think, and I'll
But-
do it in a nice way. Like
Oh,
just-
mhm, mhm.
No, you
No, so
won't.
you don't count. You don't want it nice. You like it rough.
Sean, why aren't you streaming this? Like, why don't you go through people's lists and do it on your YouTube
No,
channel?
no, no, no.
Because I'm bad at everything related to this. Mark Perry had to help me even promote to my opponent during Tampa that I had a YouTube channel. He's like, "Oh yeah, and he has a YouTube channel. You should check it out." I'm like, I didn't even think to say that in the 8 hours I've been here. So
I mean,
there's that too.
KR literally yells at me every day after I decide to never say like and subscribe. So
So yes, if you want list reviews, Brad is unreliable, so you got to send them to Sean. So go check out Dice with Rice, and you can send him lists, and he will review lists live on stream.
Do not
Live.
just ping me in the Discord. I look at that maybe once every 2 weeks. And I have so many messages that I probably can't catch you fast enough. If you just message me on Facebook, I'll talk to you.
If
Actually,
you want his cell phone number, reach out to
No,
me. I will
we're
let
not
you
doing
have his cell phone
Listen,
number.
No. Hold on. Sean, I have the perfect thing for you. Go to
No.
one of Dice's Rice's videos and post your list there. And then he will respond in the comments with
I
his
will.
That's
That is
true.
100% right.
because
I
that's
will.
also engagement for your videos. So you
Correct.
get like the algorithm going.
you are amazing at that because I go to look at the comments and I'm like, ooh, look at all the comments. And they're all you responding to other comments before I ever got there.
For all of you out there who comment on the videos, you're welcome because I know Brad isn't going to look at them sometimes.
I didn't look at
Oh,
them.
sorry. I got to give him credit. He'll look at them and then forget to respond to them because that's how he
100%.
rolls.
That is true.
He's got a lot to do.
I
Like,
do look
go
at
to the
them
hospital
quite a
line.
bit. And I'm like, hey,
Go to the
I have
hospital.
something good to say about this. And then I don't. All of the things, some of the time.
So Anna wants to get you a Dice with Rice shirt.
Oh.
We could probably do that.
It's not even
Oh,
just a shirt.
that'd be cool.
It's going to be literally say, I have a YouTube channel with the link.
No, what we got to do is we got to get him objective markers because that way the conversation starts.
But you have to make them good, like me with
No.
wrestling the bull on the horns. You got to do it
No,
like
no.
that.
The picture, the Jeremy picture. Okay,
Oh,
I'm making you some
no,
objective markers.
No, we're not. We're not propagating that on the internet.
no,
Oh,
we're-
yes,
I know
we
you're
are.
watching. YouTube.
I
Don't- no.
would, but I don't think there's any that are suitable for the channel right now.
you don't have that picture yet? Oh, I have to give you that picture, man.
Oh, I have so many of these.
No, Jeremy sent them all to Brad immediately,
Oh,
and he
there-
I blasted
I
them
just
all
I
right
kept sending
to-
him I kept literally sending different ones to him over the course of the night.
All right. I thought we were doing predictions here, not predicting how much I get wrecked in the next couple of days.
Oh, this is gonna be great. You know, I was really
Just make some
debating
business.
it was because
Sean, do you want me to make you some business cards? I'll make you some
I
business
have business
cards.
cards. Thank you very much.
I need
have
some
pass
plenty
them
of
out.
business
why
cards.
don't I have
Do I
business
pass
cards?
No kidding. Why don't you have business cards?
Good question.
I'll just add you to mine. That'll be
I
fine.
actually have 2 meetings with stuff over the weekend with the Cali people. Just went, hey man, we're gonna fix your stuff. I was like, we do this professionally. I'm like, I do not apparently, but
You do not.
I did want to say that I was 50-50 at going live tonight because of the way I felt, and I am fantastically happy that we did because we did nothing that I planned, and this has been awesome.
Well, no, actually, it was what you planned. This is you assembling a team. This is how an assembled 40k team looks.
True
Yes.
story.
We are all very good at this game, and we all do this when we talk anything about 40k because you have to enjoy it. That's part of making a team. You have to enjoy the people you're around. And the more time you spend with them, the more crazy stories you get, the more times you see Blake Law's finger cut up, the more times Brad
Jesus.
drives to the hospital.
Does he just start? I feel that Blake Law literally starts every hobby project by just stabbing himself and then going.
He
It's
is
an
a
offering
disciple
to
of
the Dark
Korn
God.
and Slanesh.
It's an offering to the Dark Gods. Have you seen the stuff he painted? It's amazing. That man won a hobby challenge while we were playing a tournament.
True story.
That is insane.
Not,
We-
like,
Not-
No,
Not
that-
even
you know,
played.
I'm telling
He
the story.
won.
He legitimately, he just decided he was going to enter in the middle of our team tournament, and just starts working on a model, and then it's like, hey man, I got to submit this thing in the morning, so I have to go find him as he's doing. Also, he didn't just paint a model. He entered the diorama competition and just
And-
made one out of nowhere.
And a model was lost, and to be legal to play in day 2, he painted a model for us to use during the tournament, in addition to painting his diorama.
True story.
All I'm saying is Blake Law is one of the best people ever, and
Best.
he is impressive in ways you can't even describe. Like, that is amazing. Like, he just like walks up like a beast and claims his award, and we're all just like, "Did you?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, I dominated." I was like, "Okay, man, good job."
Fantastic. And then he decided to literally do Evil Knievel with his car afterwards. Uh-oh. You have to finish a display board, build 4 models, and paint the rest of your tile by Wednesday?
Yep.
Easy. That's child's play, bro. I painted a model in like 15-ish minutes. Easy.
That's it.
Hey.
That-
Brandon, legitimately, if you need to borrow anything like my tiles fully painted, you can borrow any of that list from
I
me.
don't-
I am angry at all of you. I am now being blasted with Fix My List. So
Yeah.
Sean, hit us with one of the fix my list. This is how we build a community.
No,
Let's-
this is
let's
not.
do
We're
it.
not. We're not encouraging this more.
Yes, we are.
All right, fine. We're gonna use Pedro's because he was one of the first ones.
But we're going to start doing it the old school
Oh
style.
no, we can't do this. No, it's such a. Okay. Well, now that you asked for it, this is what you all get. Fix My List. First company task force.
No, I refuse to do this.
You sit there, old man.
Nope,
Reap
nope,
what you
we're
sow.
doing it. Ripping off that
Man,
Band-Aid.
no.
Normal
man, no.
lieutenant. Normal lieutenant. Normal lieutenant. Lieutenant
I'm
Phobos armor.
already mad.
Lieutenant Phobos armor. Lieutenant and Phobos armor. Lieutenant and Reaver armor. Lieutenant and Reaver armor. Lieutenant and Reaver armor. We're not done with the lieutenants. In case you thought we were done, we are. Lieutenant with combi weapon. Lieutenant with combi weapon. Lieutenant with combi weapon. Oh, Pedro.
Real quick pause on this. Can the Deathwing Command Squad beat how many lieutenants would it take to kill the Deathwing Command? Just 5-man Deathwing Command Squad with the Ancient.
They literally cannot harm them.
Hey.
These
Well, no, they have
lieutenants-
combi weapons. You have 3 combi weapons. That's the mortal wounds.
Yeah, 3 combi weapons, and you have 3 lieutenants with power sword and storm shield.
I think you're misunderstanding what I'm saying. You cannot harm these lieutenants with your Deathwing command squads. It is impossible.
I'm saying, like, if they just showed ready, the Deathwing Command Squad is Neo, in the second Matrix and I walk out into the playground, how many lieutenants would it take? Agent Smith style.
This list gets better. It has 15 desolators in it. It has a Hammerfall bunker. It has 2 Hammerfall bunkers. This is amazing. And then Max Reavers and a Scout Squad. Because you gotta score. Once your first company, you gotta take 1 Scout Squad.
So this is 30 Reavers with 3 lieutenants?
What this list is.
3 lieutenants is... Excuse you. Put some respect on their name. There are 9 lieutenants in this list.
You know what? I'm going to respond to this hurtful talk from Lyle Dixon with a $5 super chat. Brad, if you need to borrow my towel for the World Championships, you can go find a cliff. I mean, I don't think that your towel could survive the cliff. They couldn't survive TSA.
Hashtag community.
This is community right here. If you wondered what the 40K community looks like, it's this right now.
This is true. Anna's 100% right on this. Building a team is about finding a common ground above and beyond the game. 1000%. Like hobby or sportsmanship or enjoying Sean's pain.
I hold DOG together like the awful glue that I am.
Sean, tell Pedro that list would do fantastic on Servo Skulls.
Weirdly enough, it would.
It would. It literally
So I'm
would.
going to start with my
Servo
army
Skulls.
9 inches away from you on all these Servo Skulls. Oh, I went first. Oh, it's going to be in your deployment zone immediately.
Boot. Just soccer kicking all of it in there.
Oh, yeah. And then you have the Hammerfall bunkers that are just waiting. They're waiting for that opponent to step out into the open and get shot.
What are the deployment rules for Hammerfalls?
You deploy it in your deployment zone. That's it.
That's
it doesn't
it?
move.
Yes,
They
correct.
don't have any special
100%.
deployment.
But
They
I'm
can't-
saying, like, can I
No.
put it in GW trade? Can I just jam them in the holes?
Well, you...
If you can fit it.
Wait, what's the fortification rule? Does it have to be 3 inches away from
Yeah,
terrain?
I'm saying, does that have to
I
be 3
think it
inches
still
away?
has that. Yep, I think I think what you actually do is you build the Great Wall and you hide behind it.
That's my
And-
point. Can I just take it?
Yes, you need to take 3 Hammerfalls to
and
do
then
the
and
thing.
then you just
and
and
then
then
you
you
make
choose
them shoot
and
it.
you choose cleanse for your secondary. You never leave behind your wall.
This is
Oh,
free
man.
coaching from Brad Chester.
My God, why is my mind even going here? This
I
sounds
want you all
awful.
to
Hey, no, what you do then is you take 3 drop pods and then you can make another wall somewhere else on the table.
And this is
Drop pods
why
OP.
it took us 8 weeks to figure out our ATC armies because this is what happened to
This is the
everyone.
kind of shit that happens. Like, show me that I can't. Show me in the rules where it says I can't jump pack Hammerfall bunkers.
Yeah,
Oh.
they're laughing
It's
this hard
a-
because it's 100% accurate.
So Lord Amnesia has an actual interesting question. It depends on the event.
Yeah,
GW, no. Player plays terrain events, yes.
Yes.
Generally.
depending where you go.
What was the question for?
Are you still able to replace a piece of terrain with a fortification like you could in 9th edition?
Yeah, so based on player plays toward GW. Yeah.
But fortifications, can they deploy outside of the deployment zone in this edition? Because in 9th,
No.
they could. I don't think they can in 10th.
They can't.
They can in 10th.
They
But-
They
can't.
can.
They can?
I don't
No,
believe
they
they can.
I don't think they can.
I don't think they can. I think they're still counted as a unit, and you put them in your deployment zone.
Right.
I don't
And-
think there's a reason. Okay, like the one that's kind of playable, even barely, is like the Noctilith crown, and even then, like, don't do
Dude,
that.
that thing is so gigantic and does
Don't take
fit
that.
inside stuff. A guy at Cali took it and was just like literally touching objectives everywhere with it.
Yeah, don't do that to yourself. Don't.
But
Hammerfall Bunker Guide, they fixed it. I don't know why they fixed it. You did not need to fix the Hammerfall Bunker so it couldn't shoot everything. Just let it shoot everything. There's no reason not to let it do that.
it's also
was already not to.
yes. They did Legends like 90% of the fortifications. That's a true story.
Except for the Battle Sanctum. They didn't put that in the Legends. They just abandoned it. It doesn't exist anymore.
They just abandoned it.
Like, you see all these random units. It's like, oh man, like, this unit that no one's played on the table since 5th edition has a Legends data sheet. With the Sanctum with that they were still selling. I could still probably go buy one at CM Games. Can't get it
Have
anymore.
one, if you want.
You know, we said earlier that this is how you build community in 40K, and it is. And this is actually just interacting with you know, like-minded people, but also in the chat right now, interacting with people. I think Steven and I actually like formed an ATC team out of people who just asked us for help. Like that's basically what you do.
That's a big thing
you
of
get
it.
involved.
You just have to be. Your first team is just going to be random people you meet, and then you learn. You basically go from there. To be honest with you.
Remember, our team for Nova was myself, Kyle, because he asked me to come. We picked up a random person that Brad recommended because he played with him before, and the random kid who was absolutely amazing that we met
That
and
dude
invited.
ruled,
DOG.
by the way. We also
Yeah.
put him on DOG after that.
Yeah, and we literally got second place at Nova because of our team building skills.
That's true, and that just goes to show you. You think this is all insanity, but there's method to it. Actually, I don't know if I've met like truly great 40K players that aren't like okay to hang out with. I think for the most part, obviously there's some outliers, but for the most part, if you meet someone who's great to hang out with, they're gonna be decent at 40K, and you can use that in a team tournament because not everyone. The thing about team tournaments is not everyone has to like stomp their opponent. Some people, like Brandon, are just like brick walls of you are not 20-0ing me, and that's extremely valuable. And for anyone out there who wants to try to 20-0 Brandon, you need to play this man once, and you will know you're not 20-0ing him.
Oh.
I mean, you can.
Brandon
You,
is-
you just have to feed him enough liquor, and then he just
That
plays
is
himself out of the game.
with
play
enough
better.
margaritas, he's gone.
I play better.
It's a certain peak. I do have to call you out. Renosaurus Rex says, "Hey, Brandon, don't your dogs have to run the treadmill to keep your stream PC up?"
Oh man.
You know, they were slacking today. I mean, they were very interested in what was going on outside, so they did not support the operation of streaming.
I just like the fact that you guys were silent movie stars.
Should
Uh-oh.
I just,
Playmaker says he 20-0 you in 10 minutes.
I can't roll my eyes hard enough at that. I mean, if we're talking about pile driving, yeah, because he's like 7'5". He is a size 17 foot because he's Bigfoot.
Still is my favorite picture from ATC. Is me standing in front of those gigantic overalls like a child. Yeah,
Hey, Sean,
exactly.
I could do that. I could take that entire video, make it black and white,
Oh.
and then just like do
Oh, and then
text.
title slides. Title
Yeah.
slides come by. Oh.
I triple dog dare you, sir.
Please do this. You can have the whole. Oh no!
Oh no, he failed a 7-inch charge.
Sorry,
Oh no, he
excuse
failed it
you.
again.
That was a 9, and then a 9, and then a 9, and then a 9, and then a 7, and I failed all of those.
Charlie Chaplin of 40K. Oh, please let this happen. Yeah,
I would love to watch this.
exactly.
You would love to fast
you-
forward
you
through
de-
it so fast.
You definitely need the light piano music in the background. This is the type of content we need to be making.
I'm pretty sure all this is possible. And pretty easy to do, by the way. I'm gonna need Sean to provide exposition though and help me like identify what's actually happening
Oh,
by
Jesus.
reading our lips.
You know what? I have to roll. I can't roll my eyes hard enough at Brad Hammerfall Bunker Chester. I do think Eldaria is going to get touched when we get the data slate.
In
I-
December or January.
Whenever it comes. I think the Chosen will probably go up in points. Eldari, I mean, they could just not up the points. They could just change, I don't know, the Night Spitter's goddamn hell mechanic that says, hey, do you want to move? No. Like just
Honestly, think all you do to fix Eldar is you fix the Incarn. I think the only problem with them is
no,
the
it's two
Incarn.
things. You do the Night Spinner mechanic and the Yinkarn mechanic, and you leave everything else alone. You let them play the game.
Do you change the points values to reflect that they're not as good?
Yes.
No. You had your time in the sun. No, sorry.
God.
Should they do it? Yes.
Yes.
Will you do it? No.
Absolutely not.
So are we just flat up like data slate predictions now? Are we going? We're going all hog?
Fuck it.
Have
I
we
said, you
completely
know what?
left the building.
So hold on, we have what 2 months till this potentially comes out. We're now doing predictions on what's going to happen.
Only the
Oh, you know
this
what?
first
Screw
in.
it.
Let's do it.
Hold on. I'm putting in, instead of weekend predictions, I'm changing it to random predictions.
I think Space Marines are going down in points. Come to new FAQ.
I don't think so. I think they're just going to be like, they're fine, and then they just
Nah.
don't touch them at all. Which would make you angrier, Brandon?
Not touching them or them going down in points?
Exactly. They're doing that thing.
I think they should fucking legend the Outriders also. Screw you,
Yes.
buttons.
Get 'em out of here.
I mean, they're practically legends because they're still too damn expensive. for what they do.
Motorcycles don't exist in the 40k universe anymore. I'm sorry.
Dude, that was the best ad though. Remember when the Primaris Chaplain first came out and they literally did an ad for him that was like an 80s action movie thing? Rah! That thing was awesome.
Was.
I still can't believe they got rid of the bike captain. So dumb.
You know, I want to.
Brett, I'm gonna go on this. Never worry about buying a random model that's been out forever. It'll be bad, then it'll come back. Just
Or it'll get legends and you'll be super sad.
nah, it's Eldar. Eldar doesn't have something.
No.
that's
Yeah,
whoa, whoa.
Yeah. Don't be
Whoa.
telling them that. That
Yeah.
doesn't happen.
That doesn't happen to Eldar. Come on, bro. I'm still
What was the
using
last
my.
time? The Bone Singer.
Yeah, I have models from '99. They're still good to go.
Warp Spiders are made in 1993,
Yeah,
and they're still the same
sculpt. Hard metal. Rock it out, baby.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. If you are picking models based on whether you think they're going to go away or not, don't do that. Also, don't pick models because they're broken right now. Like
Yes.
they're going to be bad immediately, like afterwards. And the bad, here's the secret: the bad models that people love will just suddenly be good out of left field.
Yep.
Suddenly, a white dwarf happens, and your army just is nuts out of left field.
You know what? I'm going to make a good prediction. I think that they understand that Death Guard became good when they changed mechanics, and Votan became good again when they changed mechanics. And I think they're going to do the same thing for Drakari and Custodes. Both of them need mechanical changes, not point changes. I mean, Custodes could have some point changes, but I'm saying to make them a legit deal again, they need mechanical changes. And I think that they have to learn from the fact what they did with Death Guard and Votan literally brought them from the bottom to middle up. You know what I mean? And they did
It's
just
a good win for them. It was a really big win if you're a GW and you see Votan where they were to where they are now, almost perfect, because I think a lot of their win rate right now is a lot of people just flocking to them because you want to play Space Dwarves. They're very reasonable now, and that obviously will drive you up. Also, they're not, +1 hit, +1 wound on 4 different well, as Brad says, 3 real things and 1 trash thing that you should get rid of and
I'll
score
say,
points on.
and your CP generator. So,
Yeah, and your CP generator, Jerry, the CP generator.
What would actually make me very happy, and I don't think they'll do it, but it would be great, is if we could actually get a melee revamp to the point where melee feels better for the game as a whole.
yeah.
I mean, yes, but that's more of whatever. I mean, if we could have predictions at the top of your list. I want Night Spinners gone. Just I don't care what you do to them, make them gone. I've said in what Brad and I did our meta watch video, points are not going to fix it. I'll just take less and then make your stuff irrelevant.
I mean, you could raise it 90 points and it'd still be worthwhile.
I'm going to go to Lyle's super chat because he called me out. He's not wrong, but because Brad says GW has to learn something, everyone take a shot. Yes, but this is something that was good that happened, so they should learn from it.
Yeah. That's got to be fine. That's got to be fine, right? He's not all doom and gloom. He's got good things to say.
I do. And a lot of
Would
times
you still take the Night Spinner if it was the same price as it is now, but it didn't have any melee reduction on it
I
whatsoever?
wouldn't take it at all.
Any movement, you mean?
Any movement reduction. It was
Movement reduction.
literally
Okay.
just D3 plus 3 shots at its current ballistic skill.
Oh, no, it'd be terrible. I don't care. I
Be
wouldn't
terrible.
take it at all. I would just immediately make it 3 fire prisms and move on with life.
Yeah,
And
you-
that leads
you-
my second prediction. You should nerf fire prisms.
They've
No,
already
leave
been
fire
nerfed.
prisms alone.
Yeah. Steven's over there like, oh, I'll just play Fire Prisms afterwards. No, you here first. If you nerf Night Spinners, I'll turn them into Fire Prisms. So you got to nerf those two.
Sir, I have Fire Prisms, and I'm still not playing GW for for Eldar. I'm
That's
playing World Eaters because I'm dumb.
No, because you want tactical violence. That's the
I
only
do.
World Eaters. Oh yeah, and Blood for the Blood God.
I do enjoy the fact that when people don't know World Eaters, they literally instantly make you show them what the Master of Executions does. They're like, there's no way those are his rules. Like that guy
He's
is,
damaged. He's damaged. What now?
Yeah.
That you made that up.
he's damaged, yes.
And then they like say the quiet part. He's AP2, and then they just move on.
Nerfs your brain
It's like-
again for no reason, yes. Bill Kelly was, I love his things because I like playing elves. So he even made some fantasy codexes, so they were good too.
See what else we want. How do we fix knights? This is something I've been thinking about, and I want your guys' opinion. Because knights, you don't. You just leave them. That's Carly's opinion. Anybody
Yep.
else?
They're exactly where they're supposed to be right now.
Bad?
Yes,
Yes.
Knights are. Yes, Knights are good.
Yep. Okay, good is a word.
I think
No.
Knights.
You're so biased, Carly. I beat you so hard. Just don't even try.
You
us for that.
legitimately,
You did crush the
This
chaos.
man didn't even go to London after that. Right? He's like, I am
do
not
like the
being
fact that
so.
you're just like, is this not the best? Then it must be a dumpster fire. I just
Yeah,
imagine
yeah,
you
yeah,
with
Brad,
every
hold
other.
How many games have you played with Knights?
What's that?
How many games have you played with Knights?
The same amount I'm always gonna play. 0.
Uh-huh.
You know, I don't like big models like that. Those things make me. Oh, my heart's starting to
That
beat
is-
too
that is
fast right now.
Everything Brad hates.
He doesn't
about it.
have
It's
any trash at all. At least Chaos Knights you can bring
Nurglings, yes. It's
I
fine.
was gonna say Brad is more likely to play all War Dogs with Nurglings than he is to ever touch a big Imperial Knight ever.
For
But I'm
sure.
serious. Hold on, real. Like, how do we fix the Imperial Knight problem of you don't do damage, you aren't super tanky, you just like hope your opponent didn't bring any Strength 12 guns, like because that's kind of where they're sitting right now, and they get wins when their opponent doesn't have Strength 12 guns, and they get absolutely obliterated by Votan anytime it shows up.
Armature span with some allies with trash.
Give them 1+1 pip of AP across their shooting. Now that see across the board.
I love this. Matto coming in with the $5 super chat. Crawley is saying something so brave and true. Give that man respect.
No, but honestly, the problem is that since you took away their pip of AP, they were already so vulnerable to cover as it was anyway, that like their damage is nothing. So, or you can give them back the full rerolls at this point. But I don't know.
I don't know if you give them. That's the problem, right? I mean, like, there's no undoing that when you give them back. Like, if they get full rerolls and they immediately jump up 10% win rate and they're a problem, that's not good, because then they're just going to take that away, and then the Knights are going to languish for another year until they get their codex. I'm talking like, is points enough? Is points enough to the point where you can make Knights fine?
No.
Okay.
Yes.
Well. Oh, Brad,
Sure.
Brad, coming
Sure.
right in there, Brad.
If you go down to 300-point larges and 75-point armatures, you can definitely point them
I
into
would
a point.
literally roll everyone if I had 75-point armatures. I would play that list. I don't
You'd
know
have to
how I'm
Nice
deploying.
Eversir assassin you got.
30
Be ashamed
knights
if I had
on the board.
a T10 guy.
There is a point where they're that good, but even if you went back to the original points from the index, I don't think that they're good right now.
So Kyle says Crawley is following his favorite 40k player and switching to World Eaters.
Oh,
No, because it's
No, no.
Kyle. Because he said he was
Listen.
so impressed with his RTT win, he was compelled to make them.
This man's catching drive-bys. Like,
I thought he was making a joke about vanilla.
I like KR literally gave me doctor's advice that he strongly suggests that for my health, I only play 5 nights.
Yeah, no, I did switch to World Eaters because I wanted to have some fun, and I heard that you need at least 100 games to be able to effectively pay them. So I was like, you know what? Let's see if I can do it with less. I've had 0 practice games up to this point, so we'll find out how that goes.
True. Taking
This
Just
is the
remember,
way.
run forward and punch stuff. Like, it's very difficult.
The list is a little bit of a bag of sledgehammers. You're not wrong.
Hey, Crawley, if you want to learn World Eaters fast, there's a series called Deal With It that Brad and I do. Where we
Oh!
literally talk about World Eaters. So if you want to get good fast at World Eaters, you can check that out on Dice with Rice 40K or the Death or Glory channel.
You know what? Hold on. I'm going to put that into my watch list. I'm going to watch that first thing tomorrow. That sounds like a great idea.
It's actually one of our best. It's really good.
It is. It's actually really good.
It's like really good. I was just about to say,
Bro, if
we're joking about it, but like seriously, you should check it out. It's really good.
if I get interviewed, I'm going to be like, yeah, I literally was like, I'm going to go play this. And then I watched Dice with Rice's video on how to play World Eaters. And look at me now. I'm already winning games at the World Championship.
Oh no! I don't want to hear that. Next time we tried that, I'm putting you on blast, Carly. You ready for this? This is big
Sure.
news. This man is like, we should promote your AdMech and Knight videos. I'll play AdMech and you can play Knight. This man showed up with his super major winning Dark Angels list and made me play Knights. You know what can't ever beat his list? Knights, because I'm AP 1.
Did you
Listen.
kill any of those guys?
No, I killed nothing. I physically could not harm him.
It
And
made
he's
me-
like, this is perfect.
It made me think about it for a minute. I'm like, I don't know if you can kill any of his models
You
actually.
can't. Yeah, I could. The answer is none. I did 0 damage and lost every night.
You know
and
what?
he was like, all according to the plan.
I-
I got
Guys-
denied my conversions by Chad, so I could not play my list.
All I have to say is, there's nothing better to end with than that story. So please like and subscribe. We're ending with Crawley's sorrow.
I do have one question for Crawley before we go.
Sure.
Do you have a poster of Megamind above your bed?
No.
And everyone,
have-
don't forget,
Don't
Dice with
forget to
Rice,
send your list to Dice,
Dice
with
with
Rice.
Rice,
He is
open-
reviewing all the lists.
24/7, open 24/7. He'll look at them all.
Also, please make sure that you send him your list in YouTube as well. And if you're not doing anything and you're around Fort Wayne, Indiana, go to the Rumble at the Rivers
And
This weekend.
this
this
weekend,
week. Just show up. I'm sure Pete will fit you in. Tell him Crawley sent you.
yeah.